You know, when you think of perfect architecture, I bet this is what pops into your head. The Parthenon. It's been the gold standard for beauty for what, over 2,000 years? But here's a wild thought. What if its perfection isn't just some stroke of artistic genius? What if it's actually built on a secret code? So that's the big question, right? The mystery we're going to dive into. Is this building's breathtaking beauty just a happy accident? You know, the result of two brilliant architects just feeling it? Or did they literally build a mathematical code right into the marble? And believe me, people have been trying to crack that code for centuries. I'm talking architects, mathematicians, you name it. They measured every last inch, crunched all the numbers, desperately trying to find one simple rule that made it all make sense. But nothing. The results were always a total mess, super complicated, inconsistent, just unsatisfying. Turns out, they were all looking in completely the wrong place. So, in this explainer, we're going to dig up this kind of forgotten theory. A theory from a guy who claimed he finally cracked the code. And his secret, it wasn't about using a ruler. It was about something way, way more elegant. Okay, just listen to how people talk about this building. It's wild. They don't just say, oh, that's nice. They feel it. This one writer even compared it to a harmonious fugue, you know, like a really complex, beautiful piece of music. There's this sense of rhythm, this deep feeling that everything is just mathematically right. And that right there, that's the key. Could that harmony be literal? I mean, think about it. We know music is just math, right? Beautiful sounds come from simple mathematical ratios. So what if buildings work the same way? What if the beauty we see is actually based on a real, honest-to-goodness mathematical law? Well, the guy who claimed he finally figured it all out was a complete outsider, a total underdog, and his fresh perspective was about to flip the whole world of architecture upside down. And to really get how big a deal this was, just look at the timeline. The Parthenon goes up way back in 448 BC. A few hundred years later, this Roman guy, the Vitruvius, tries to write down how the Greeks did it, but get this, the secret sauce was already lost. So for almost 2,000 years, nobody knew. The secret was just gone. Until this fella, D.R. Hay, shows up on the scene in 1853. So who is this D.R. Hay? Well, he was a thinker, a theorist, but here's the most important part. He was not an architect, and that was his superpower. He wasn't bogged down by all the old rules and traditions. He could look at the problem with totally fresh eyes. And Hay's big idea, man, it was so simple but absolutely revolutionary. He basically said that for hundreds of years, every single person trying to solve this puzzle failed for one simple reason. They were measuring the wrong thing. Everyone was obsessed with lengths and distances, but the real secret, it was hidden somewhere else entirely. So what was it? What was the secret that was hiding in plain sight the whole time? For Hay, the answer wasn't in length. It was in angles. He called it the harmony of angles. Okay, so here's the old way versus Hay's new way. Everybody else was measuring length, right? They were trying to find a nice, simple ratio between, say, how tall a column is and how wide it is. And it was just a chaotic mess of numbers. Hay said, forget all that. Let's measure direction. His whole idea was that our eyes aren't really good at judging distance, but they are incredibly good at picking up on the relationship between angles, how lines point and guide our vision. And this is where he brings back that music analogy. He called it harmonic ratio. You know how our ears just love the sound of a perfect musical chord? That's because the frequencies of the notes have a simple mathematical relationship. Well, Hay believed our eyes work the exact same way. We find beauty in shapes when their defining angles have those same simple, elegant proportions. It's the same universal law, just for seeing instead of hearing. And the beauty of his system is how simple it is. It's brilliant. Step 1, you take the most basic, most important angle in all of building, right? The 90-degree right angle. Step 2, you do exactly what you do with a guitar string to get different notes. You divide it by simple numbers. Half, a third, a fourth, a sixth. And step 3, boom. The angles you get, 45 degrees, 30 degrees, 22.5 degrees. Those are your harmonic angles. Those are the secret building blocks of architectural beauty. Okay, it's a really cool theory, for sure. Super elegant. But does it actually work? Does it apply to the Parthenon? Well, Hay was convinced he had finally found the master key. And according to him, the answer was a huge, resounding yes.
He showed how you could map out the entire front of the Parthenon with incredible accuracy using just a few of these simple harmonic angles. No complicated measurements, no weird fractions, just simple angles.
Okay, check this out. Let's say you start at the bottom corner of the building's base. Now draw a line going up at an angle that's exactly 1/4 of a right angle. That's 22.5 degrees. That single line, it lands perfectly on the top of that big horizontal slab that sits on the columns. It's exact. But wait, it gets even crazier. Now go to the center of the base. Draw another line, this time at an even smaller angle, 1/6 of a right angle, just 15 degrees. Where does it point? Straight to the tippy top of the triangular roof. It's unreal. With just two simple harmonic angles, the whole famous outline of the Parthenon just snaps into place. And this is why his theory blew people's minds. I mean, look at the difference. For centuries, people were digging around with rulers and found maybe 4 ratios, and they were all kind of clunky and approximate. Hay comes along with his angle-based system and finds 18. And they weren't close enough. They were exact, simple, harmonic relationships running through the whole building. The difference is just staggering. But, this whole thing is bigger than just the Parthenon. Hay's theory really gives us a whole new way to look at the world around us. And look, at the end of the day, it doesn't even matter if Hay's theory is 100% absolutely scientifically proven. That's not really the point. The real magic here is the idea itself. It's this beautiful, ambitious quest to find a universal law of beauty, to show that the things we find beautiful aren't just random chance, but are actually part of the mathematical blueprint of the universe. There was this architect back then, Professor Cockerill, who put it perfectly. He said our sense of vision needs to be trained just like our sense of right and wrong. Because without some kind of rules, some underlying principles, what is art? It's just randomness, fads, fashion. He argued the ancient Greeks knew this. They were searching for the grammar of beauty. And that's what's so powerful about what Hay was trying to do. His theory doesn't just treat the Parthenon like a one-off masterpiece. It connects it to, well, everything. To music, to math, to the patterns you see in nature. It suggests the entire universe has a kind of visual harmony. And the Parthenon, it's just one of the clearest times we humans manage to capture it.
So that leaves us with this big, mind-bending question, doesn't it? Is beauty a universal law? Is it some kind of cosmic truth just out there waiting for us to find it? Or is it really just in the eye of the beholder? Is it all just a matter of opinion? The Parthenon has been sitting there for more than 2,000 years, and it's still waiting for our answer.
So yeah, something to think about next time you see a building or a painting or even just a sunset that takes your breath away. Are you just seeing it, or are you maybe hearing its harmony? Thanks for joining me on this one.